Sanders has dropped out the race.
Yes. He has done that, yes.
He's got an old Mac charger we could borrow.
Yeah.
Could we just borrow it, please?
If you stand a bit further back, we can.
Yeah, give him that one. Give him that one.
Does it work?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. It's plugged in. But it kind of proves it works. Have to clean that now. Shake the handle. What's you want me to do, Peyton or Yow? Or neither?
Everything. Do everything, pass.
Okay. I'll literally do everything. Are we? It's going well. Have we gone live yet? That just pulled, has it come out the thingy? It's not going to come on now because it's come out to there. To come out to join. No. Yeah. I mean, it's zoomed in for some reason. Are we actually live here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. They can hear everything.
That's what you
Just
want.
can't see us.
That's what you want. Oh, as long as they can't see.
No, they can't see.
That's the most
it.
important thing, isn't it?
I mean, they can see us now.
Well, that's good.
That's good. I mean, adds a new dimension to the whole thing.
It does.
Being able to shit. I mean, basically, it's been theatre of the mind so far.
Yeah, like
Really
radio.
has.
Like radio.
Yes, that's been like radio.
There you go.
I feel like we were in one of those, old radio shows.
Like, not an issue.
Not an issue.
Not an issue.
Not an issue.
Matthew Jervis says, all right, lads. All right, Matthew Lamb.
Remember him?
Remember Ned Sheeran,
Remember
yeah.
Ned Sheeran.
Says, hope you're safe and well, boys. We are, mate. We're doing all right.
Hope everyone's well out there.
Yes, I hope you're all
Welcome
out.
to Live at 5.
All well. And doing well. Basically, that's what all we want, isn't it? We want everybody to be fit, healthy, safe, strong.
Just obey the messages.
Yeah.
And it'll all be over quicker than
Them.
it wouldn't be if you don't obey the messages.
Next few days are going to be interesting because the weather for the next week is warm. I know there's like days when it's cloudy. It's absolutely amazing outside now. But people have got to just, if
Stay
you're going
indoors.
outside and if you've got like a garden or something,
Right.
just go in your own garden.
Yeah.
Help.
Or if you go for a walk, go for a walk, but just go for a walk and come
Yeah.
back. Don't lie down anywhere. Listen, as I said, I have some golden rules in life. Baz is aware of them. Some of them I'm not allowed to make public.
No.
Especially the Disney rule. But my new golden rule is, if you're lying down on grass, you should be tasered. By anyone.
Why though?
Because
At the moment, you mean?
yes,
Oh,
no,
yeah, yeah,
genuinely,
yeah. Okay, yeah.
that would be mad.
Yeah.
You're lying down on grass at the moment, or you're sitting down and there's food. I can understand people sitting down, especially people who are older and have had a walk and need to sit down for 5 minutes or whatever. But if you're sitting down, you're pulling a face. What's the face for?
Because no, you carry on.
It's the when I see face,
That's the technology
it's
face.
the technology face.
No, it wasn't.
Right. So if you're caught eating or smoking, sitting on a bench or on grass, you're fair game. Taser. Tasered.
What though?
Hunger Games, innit?
It is the
Hunger Games.
But what if you need to sit down? So you've gone for your exercise.
For what reason?
Say for people who.
For what reason?
No, just say someone's gone out and they're
Yeah.
a bit tired. They just want to sit
I
down.
mean, I've
for a minute.
literally just threw that caveat in about 2 minutes earlier.
Yeah, but you're still tasing people.
No, I'm not. I'm tasering people for eating, lying on grass or smoking ciggies.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
Walk if you need to walk. And what'll happen is if you walk in a nice place, other people will walk in a nice place. It's general, isn't it? It's what we do. I can't fault people for going to somewhere and other people being there.
Okay.
But if you decide to have a lie down or start eating a barbecue or anything, getting a butty out, then taser.
Okay.
Straight off the bat. Not asked.
Okay.
Listen, I'm not bothered.
Okay. You're giving people... You're giving the green
I've give
light
them
to
fair.
taser.
I've give you fair warning.
You've had your warning.
If I catch you,
You're on
you're
the
getting
grass,
fully tasered.
You're getting tasered.
You're getting
Okay, you've
tasered.
said it. Done. Well done. Eric says, yes, bring it, lads. I hope we are bringing
I
it.
feel like I've just brought
You
it.
have just
I've
brought
just gone
it.
the full
You've
rock.
Literally, you've gone. You've done it. Gary Ward says, howdy. Hello, Gary. With a siren. Stephen Kelly says, this was what raised my eyebrow. All right.
Can I just stop you for 2 seconds? Did you fully wash these cups out?
Fully washed.
Okay. No, it's fine.
Why,
Just got that little bit of taste of washing up liquid in the old coffee.
No,
It's fine.
I mean, to be honest, I've fully washed
No,
them.
I know it.
They've been scrubbed to
No, I
within
know
an
they
inch
have.
of
I
the
know they have.
legs.
You've took the enamel off them.
I know, but I'm trying to keep us safe. There's people in the building who've had COVID. I'm trying to keep us safe, or we're in the building gone. All right, lads, hope you both well. I was watching a video on Sky Sports last night with Sourness. Said Sooners, but you know, he was saying that we should reduce the amount of players on the pitch down to 9.
No, that is absolutely crackpot. Honestly.
He thinks it provides more space in attacking football.
No, that's what that is a different game. No, it is, isn't it? It's a different game. It's 9 aside. It's completely different game. Now,
It's been 11 aside for years.
And you hated 11 aside football.
What?
Good players. Imagine Messi on a 9 aside pitch. Or behave. You know what I mean? Behave yourself.
That's yeah, because then you'd have to. Yeah, I don't know, mate. He's just trying to.
Have you ever watched Rugby Sevens?
No, I know what.
It's ridiculous.
Same as the NFL.
It's
Same as the
ridiculous.
NFL,
It's like
7 aside.
it's like that game, that NFL game
Yeah.
we like. It's like that.
Yeah.
They just basically it gets rid of all like the big plays and just
the
wingers,
quick
quick wingers everywhere. There's loads of space, there's loads of scores. I appreciate that, but it's not football.
No. Steve also says the Premier League show was great.
Thanks.
Keep up the good
It is
work.
good, isn't it?
Cheers. It was good.
It was good,
It was
wasn't
a
it?
good chat this week, to be fair.
All the shows have been good this week on Patreon.
Yeah.
All of them amazing shows over on Patreon. No,
Got
they
some
have.
cracking interviews that are coming out as well.
Yeah.
Adam Conroy says, hey guys, hope you're both well. Made it just in time walking into the house from work.
Adam, we waited for you, mate. I seen
did.
your message. We waited
You
for
were on
you.
your way. You're like, he'll be in a minute. And there you go. Loved the Premier League show, by the way. There you go. Oh, and Bernie Sanders has just dropped out the race.
No, he has. I know he has. It's life, isn't it?
There you go. Richard Folk says, even the lads, actual news about Everton today with regards to the plans for Goodison, the legacy. You've probably answered this loads, but who is the best player you have seen play against Everton? Mine was Bergkamp when they battered us 5-0. You could tell after 5 minutes we were in trouble, so just watched him the whole game. And to be honest, he was out of this world. Best individual performance you've seen against us?
Oh, best. Didn't we do this the other day?
You might have done.
I don't know.
Who's that player who you'd always feared when you played against us?
Ian Wright or Les Ferdinand?
Yeah, always.
Always, because they always scored.
Yeah, Wright was fantastic, wasn't he? Their kite. Didn't fear him for his ability. Always scored against us, didn't he? But in terms of like a great... Hazard was in and out, wasn't he? Against us.
Yeah.
There's been games when you look at him and go, oh my God, he was brilliant. And then other times he'd turn up and...
Zola always turned up.
Zola was unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Saying that, though, Zola would score goals against us, some of our teams.
She would, even with
With
no shoes on, she would have scored lots against us. It's tough because there's been some great players. There's been players who, I think someone mentioned Pogba on New Year's Day a couple of years ago, was an unbelievable performance against, like really stood out that day, of head and shoulders above anyone on the pitch. But
too many to count.
There is. That's the reality, isn't it? Is that Riquelme against the Villarreal games? He was special. So there you go. De Bruyne wasn't though, which is mad, but he is now always outstanding against us for City. Gareth Hughes says, hi lads, can you please say hello to my 7-year-old Christopher? Hello Christopher. Be good for your dad. He watches from time to time, gets annoyed that the men say his dad's name but not his. Christopher Hughes, be annoyed no more, young man. Be annoyed.
Christopher, we only don't mention you because you only watch from time to time.
Yeah.
Maybe if you watch more regularly, we'd mention you, but you know what I mean? That's up to you, isn't it?
I mean, that's your
You'd
decision,
you'd either get into something fully or you don't, you know what I mean? I mean, time to make decisions in your life. You're not just a small child anymore. You know what I mean?
But he probably deserves some credit because he's a proud blue going to school in Manchester, surrounded by City and United
Is he a
fans.
proud blue though, if he only watches time to time? Just saying.
Well, he mightn't be like a staunch Toffee TV supporter, but
I
he's a
mean,
proud
then
Evertonian.
what's the point?
No, I mean, you've got choices to make there, Gareth.
Exactly.
Indoctrinate him more, that's what I say.
It is, it's on the parents.
It's
It's either good parenting or bad parenting. Which one do you want?
It's one, yeah. You know, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
I mean, my lad does his own videos, so, you know, there you go. Mike Barrett says, see that copper use his hat to put out some barbecue down in Hove.
Yeah, and then I watched another video of that last night. And because some people were giving them grief.
Yeah.
And there's a video of them, and the woman's basically just like giving the police low. I don't know if they were like full police, but she's like, oh, you've ruined our day and all this. Honestly, had you just got the taser out, had you just gone, let's see how well you can dance.
I think you need to, I think they need to start coming out with, you've said this a few times, and just go and listen. Carry on, you've got no summer, not going anywhere,
that's it.
you're going to be locked down, end the story.
It's the message.
Break it down to people who quite clearly aren't intelligent enough to understand what's going on. People are saying, I'm not asked if I get it, I'll be all right. Well, guess what? Another 30-year-old died today with no health issues. So you probably will be all right if you get it. But then again, you might be one of the few that aren't all right. But also, even if you are all right, you pass it on to someone else in your family who mightn't be all right, or pass it on to 10 other people who then pass it on. That's what it's about.
What about if you're like a 25-year-old and you get it and you obviously you survive it? But what they're saying is people's lungs may never be fully recovered. And no, don't get me wrong. No, if you get it and it is like the cold symptoms rather than the full symptoms, you'll be all right. But what they're saying is your lungs will never ever fully recover if you get it like badly. Like you will always have to.
They don't know what's going on with it yet, dude. It's too early. So please follow the advice. That's all we can ask. If we do that as a country, we'll come out of it a lot quicker and in a lot better shape than what we are right now.
Well, I was reading a thing last night. I was reading a thing earlier. Well, no, it was last night. It was an article that Reuters had put. Part of it was interesting. Another part of it felt like there was an agenda attached to it. But one of the things they said, whether you believe it or not, and that's up to you, is that the scientist had said that they didn't fully want it, not that they didn't want to take it seriously, they just didn't feel like anything that was said in terms of like, you're going to have to lock this country down. If they'd gone in and said that, the government would have just laughed at them. Yeah, and so they didn't fully go in and go, this is how bad it is, you know. Yeah. They sort of tried to skirt around it. And I think that's a damning thing on all of us, that or how people see the public, or how the public are perceived, or just because the public are like this, is that they didn't feel like as people we could be trusted with. I think this is the main problem with all politics is politicians are will never, and this is on all politicians, by the way. It annoys me because the people who I like do the same thing. Is they never ever will tell you the truth because they feel like you can't handle the truth.
Full of few good men.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing. It's like they don't talk to you like and go, it's going to be really bad, you know. So we need to prepare for it. They go, protect you. If you go back to Boris, he's sitting up in bed now. Of course he is. Right. If you go back to Boris early on, and I was shaking hands, and the other clown did it on the other side of the Atlantic. It's no problem. It'll all be fine. Instead of just saying, of course I'm not shaking hands with people. This could be potentially really bad. But no, it was, let's all shake hands, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, just follow the advice. And if we do that, we will come out of it quicker and in a much better situation than we're in now. Paul Thornton says, hi, Peb and Baz, I've just watched the Premier League show. I understand that people want to try to finish it for the money, but surely the Championship would have to finish as well. Otherwise, there'd be no relegation in the Premier League. This is due to nobody being promoted in the
I don't think there
Championship.
will be any relegation. I've just got a feeling there won't be any relegation. For that reason, I don't see how. I think they'll get this. I think they want to get the season finished for money. For nothing else than money and contracts.
Have you seen the story today, nothing to do with the Premier League, that all the Football League clubs are going to go into collective administration? That's one of the backup plans. So essentially what will happen is they'll go into administration, every single one of them. All the players will be released. The owners will buy the club back out of administration and then rehire all the players, but on much less contracts.
Oh my God.
Because there's no other way.
Well, do you reckon Leeds last season lost 45 million quid? Imagine how much they've lost this season.
Well, we watched the Sunderland documentary, and when the owner takes over, Dalton takes over there, and the other fella, they say they lost 43 million last year.
I don't know if there's a documentary out there, right? And I really hope that there is, or someone needs to do one on Leeds United, right?
Have you not watched?
Is there one? Huh? What's it called?
Take Me Home.
No, I mean about from the early 2000s.
Sorry, I thought you meant from last season.
No, I've watched that.
Even last season, Take Me Home.
If you go back to the early 2000s when Leeds got to the semi-finals of the Champions League, right? No, but I mean just putting something together.
Stuff together, yeah.
So anyone who wasn't around at the time, Leeds in the early 2000s were buying like everyone. They were buying all the best young players, and it just got ridiculous. They were offering contracts to players who were terrible and giving them mad wages because they wanted to beat other teams. Basically, all the money was against this stadium that didn't get built. Mm-hmm. So it was all up against this stadium anyway. That's how they got the money. And it all went bust. And that's why Leeds ended up. By rights, Leeds should have gone bust. It went into administration, didn't it?
Yeah.
But it should have gone bust, really. But some of the things that they found that Leeds were paying for. So in the car park, older people will know this. In the car park, Leeds had a fish tank. And it had fish in it, which were green, yellow, white and blue, swimming around this fish tank. They reckon it cost 90,000 a month, I think it was, something like that. 90,000 to have a fish tank, which only reason was there is pure decadence, right? So I would love to see how...
It was 90 grand a year.
I don't know, you know.
No, it wasn't.
I'd love to see something on that Leeds team and the other things they had to cut back on.
The Seth Johnson thing.
Seth
Johnson was at Derby County, and
I know.
Was Leeds wanted him, offered 7.5 million for him, agreed, and him and his agent were on the way to Ellen Road, and his agent said we'll ask for 12 grand a week, but we'll accept 9 grand a week because that he was obviously wasn't on that much at Derby. And I was like, yeah, that sounds a good plan, blah, blah, blah. And he got to Ellen Road, and Peter Ridsdale come out the room and just basically said, listen, I've got to go to another meeting. I haven't got any time for this. The offer's 32 grand a week, take it or leave it. Give me your answer in an hour, whatever, I've got to go. And went. And he said him and his agent got back in the car and burst out laughing. And he were like, we would have been made up with 9, and we've got 32 grand a week without even having to negotiate. And Seth Johnson had a nice left foot. He was decent, and that was it.
Very average player.
And he got 32, and that was
yeah, it was huge.
Part of the course for Leeds at that time.
Huge, yeah, it was huge.
They ordered it, but absolute mad. Where are we?
But I don't think there's going to be any relegation anyway.
Okay.
And I think the Premier League just want to get the season finished. They want to fulfil contracts for TV. Everyone will be happy. The TV companies will be perfectly happy with that because people will watch. What else will they do? They will watch.
Well, they've got a thingy, haven't they? Then they've got a football show, i.e., which is a television audience, which is what they want.
The channel all week.
The channel can be filled with build-up, with games,
and then you start getting it for free.
Adverts around the stadium, adverts in between games, and all of that. You've got all of that stuff that you can do. And so for them, I guess they'll be quite happy with it, really. They're getting what they want out of it, which is the games. I've just got a couple of things I want to do very quickly. This is for Erin, which is at Whitehawk on Twitter. Dad Kev's a long-time supporter of Everton. He's a key worker in the police force, so he's having to work all the hours and extra hours through this coronavirus. It's his birthday today, so let's give him a shout out. So Kevin, at Kev Cooper 4195 on Twitter. Happy birthday! Oh, excuse me.
I mean, it's
Very happy
choking
birthday.
up then.
Yeah, it's choking up. Thanks for everything you do. Stay safe. And a big thanks to Erin for getting in touch with us. That's from Erin. And this is at Lil_Spooks. Her boyfriend is 21. Soon's a huge Everton fan. Always watches Toffee TV. You haven't told us his name. Lil Bobo Yodi. You haven't told us your boyfriend's name, so happy birthday to Bobo Yodi or Lil_Spooks. Kiss, boyfriend who is 21. Very, very soon. Where are we? Jimmy Graham says, all right, fellas. All right, Jim. Andrew Hughes says, will you go and watch them pull down Goodison, or will you stay away and just remember the good times? We'll probably do something, won't we?
Yeah.
To just document it, but it'll be what?
Are they like really gonna just pull Goodison down? Is it gonna be like they're not just gonna blow it up, are they? No, they can't though, can they? Can't just blow it up. They're gonna have to take it down bit by bit.
No, but that's what he means, taking it down. We're gonna go and document it, aren't we? But I guess he's saying it. Will it be too difficult for you to see it?
No, I think once we're past that last game, then I don't know.
The excitement switches then, doesn't it,
Yeah.
to the new place, I guess.
Yeah.
It's difficult to say, isn't it, what the emotions will be then. Andy Skywalker 69 says, hello from a hot corona hit Alabama. Love the show. So glad you all still doing the show. Question, best Star Wars film? His is Return of the Jedi. Empire Strikes Back for me as well. But classic Star Wars, brilliant. Classic. Barry Richardson says, Dad suffers with Parkinson's and many people suffering at the moment with lockdown and anxiety. Just wanted to say a big thank you. You maybe don't realise how much you do for people. Well, Barry, thank you very much. That means a lot, actually. I hope your dad is okay. And listen, we're all in this together, aren't we? On some level. And we're fortunate what we do, and we're fortunate that we can still work with the way our setup is. And it's great to talk to lots of different people, and we're all going through this unique madness together. And but hopefully, like you said, hopefully people who are isolated, hopefully people can WhatsApp them or Zoom them, or they've got things like this that gives them something to watch, just a little bit of maybe escapism from the madness that's going on. But listen, all of you, just stay safe. Mr. Blue Sky UK says this virus is Carol Baskin's fault.
It is Carol Baskin's fault.
Reference to Tiger King,
Everything
I think,
is Carol Baskin's fault.
Ned Sheeran says he's missing footy too much. Can't wait to get back to Sunday League. Bored of playing in the garden with me dad. He's a poor man's Peter Kay. Listen, treasure the time playing in the garden with your dad, because we've all had to really slow down and what we normally do. So you'd have to. We talked about this on Patreon.
I can't even go and see me dad.
No, I can't. To be fair, I've seen my dad, but from like 8 foot. And see my mum through the window the other day when I stood in their front and had a look through the window, because obviously they're on lockdown through my mum's health stuff, the same as Ped's family. So Matthew Lumsden, you asked that last week, and it was the same answer, I'm guessing. I don't know though. My answer was Boris. Ped's, would you rather have corona or make love to a sex robot looking like Boris Johnson?
Yeah, I mean,
Boris
the robot I'll go for.
Okay. Renzi says, hey lads, good to see you. Sam Reese says, hey guys, thanks for the content. Paris, lockdown is getting boring. Oh, he's stuck in Paris, Sam, isn't he? This show's the highlight of the week. And so thanks, and I hope everyone, your end as well. Everyone is, Sam, everyone's doing all right, because we're all trying to follow the guidelines. All I'd say to you, Sam, is if you're at I don't like saying this, especially at this time, but if you're at a spare £3, you could have these shows every day on Patreon. That's all I'm going to say. Dan Shales says, evening guys, thanks for keeping the lockdown bearable. Sophie Gallagher says, transfer market prices will be going down after this pandemic. Should we give Gylfi the ghost on a free?
No.
We can't. I don't think we can, because
someone will still be prepared to pay for him.
Yeah, and he doesn't need, I suppose he doesn't need to go, does he? Really, that's what he'll be looking at. But what can you do? Eugene McGeever says, happy birthday to Joe Royal for today. 71 today, of course. Big Joe. Simon Boyle talking about great performances against Everton. Drogba was always good against us, wasn't he?
We talked about that the other day. We said Drogba, he was always good against us. Always turned up.
Yeah. Mark Richardson is sat having a cuppa in North Carolina at the moment, listening to us.
Good. I mean,
hope you're well in North Carolina.
Are you having tea or coffee? Because it'd be unusual to have tea in North Carolina.
Paul Callow says, where are you boys holidaying when this is all over? Wales for me this year, if we can get there. And you, Ped should be going to LA soon, but we'll be going later in the year if it isn't soon. Well, you will.
No, I know. I'm supposed to be going in 6 weeks though.
You're not going in 6 weeks.
I'm not going in 6 weeks.
Phil Williams says, afternoon, lads. Simon Boyle says, all this because someone ate a bat.
Did you see that video online, though? Saying that it was from like 3 days ago, and it was from America. And in the video, they basically said, and I haven't really studied it too much, but in the video, it's like from America, and it's a press conference saying, we've got the scientists who got this out there, and they basically saying that the bat was from a lab and had been given something in the lab, and someone had got the bat and ate the bat. But whether you believe that or not, it's just that because of this video, and people have been putting, what's this? Where's this come from? And it's because this video is looks dead real, and it's yeah, we've got this guy Philip something who let the bat out.
Early on, it said it was from a lab in China. They said it was from a lab very early on in this thing, and then the narrative became a wet market. But there's a lot of stuff saying it come out of a lab. So I mean, I don't know. It's absolutely mad. Dave says, if you could morph 2 ex-players into one player, who would they be?
Oh, 2 ex-players into one player.
Trevor Steven and Andrei Kanchelskis. They're both amazing.
Amazing. You want 2 players who had really good things, but
Victor Anichebe and James Vaughan. You could have put them together. You'd have had a good striker.
Yeah. No, that's a difficult one, though. Suppose it'd be someone who was say a right back who was like Tony Ibbott and
Jibril Sidibe.
Yeah, maybe.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah, someone who could defend and someone who could attack.
Marcus Bent and Romelu Lukaku. Then you'd have ridiculous work rate and amazing goals.
The Strach and Rom.
Like a Frankenstein,
yeah,
that'd be, wouldn't it? Dave Ellis says, which is your favourite pundit if you had to choose, Charlie or Mason? Nicholas or Mason? Who would you rather have out the 2?
I think actually Charlie Nicholas, because I actually think Charlie Nicholas tries to actually say real things.
I think, yeah.
Mason's all like bants, and it's all from this isn't like a personal thing, because I watched that thing last year of him with that Harry's Heroes, and he has gone through quite a lot. But everything just comes from a level of stupidity where it's I don't know. It just seems a bit like
I'd have Nicholas. Nicholas used to be really good, and used to quite like Everton until his mate got Allardyce, and that's where this real negative narrative has come from, because of Allardyce is his mate, so everything's a dig back at the club now. But yeah, you'd have him over Mason every day of the week without a shadow. Bryn's channel just said on the daily update that the curve is flattening, even though 900 plus have died in the last 24 hours. It's new cases, isn't it? So, you know what? I hope that that's true, and it'll be brilliant if it is. But I'm still sceptical just at the minute because they haven't got the numbers.
I don't think they should be saying things
No,
like
they
that.
should be waiting for another 2 weeks. I seen a medical thing this morning. The fella said we're not going to know for 3 weeks because that'll be the effects of lockdown. Said so. Be very cautious.
I don't think they should say anything.
Everything.
I think what they should just do is reveal the numbers and just say what's happening. But I don't think they should be sending out like almost like positive messages out. I don't think they should be sending positive messages out there literally till like the day before it's all sorted. Otherwise, we could quickly fall back.
Yeah, people get complacent. Scout Submariner says, would love to get a grip on these dickheads flouting the basic advice. My missus has just started on a ward in Kettering General Hospital where she's treating COVID patients. Scares the hell out of them. It will do. I mean, imagine from that perspective. Imagine your wife's going off to that every day.
It's like
you're terrified.
Yeah, exactly. That's what annoys me. Is that
stress for those
we've
people.
all been given like basic requirements. Just don't be near other people if you can. Do the very, very basics. Treat it like a serious thing, because there's still people having to go to work, whether it be obviously nurses and doctors who are facing it every day.
Ambulance men having to go into people's houses every day.
And then you've got the key workers doing things for us, of course. And then you see other people treating it like it's some kind of bank holiday. Every day's a bank holiday, and you're just thinking, your ignorance and arrogance are, if they put
costing people alive.
A few more cases that nurses have to deal with, and that then nurses get viral overloads, and then they end up passing away for no reason other than you want to get out the house. I find that disgusting.
I just think we don't appreciate as well. Listen, we appreciate the NHS. I love the NHS, and like we've said many times, it's my mum's here because of the NHS. Ped's sister's still here because of the NHS, and for that we'd be forever grateful. But I don't think we appreciate the difficulty at this moment of, no, not just them, of their families. The mental stress that those families must have from their mum, the wife, the sister, whatever, the dad's going off to work, the daughter, the son going off to work every day to try to keep us safe, to try to help people. And yet we're bouncing around with no shirt on, walking down the road with it. I seen 4 lids yesterday.
I seen them.
Just bouncing together, and it's like, lads, honestly, please just get a brain cell. Stop smoking spliffs and get a brain cell.
And the sad thing is, for me, I sadly think that this is going to all be spun, and the wrong people are going to get the benefit. They're going to get the plaudits for it all, sadly. And I mean, it started happening already. And
well, that was...
No, I know, but it is, though, it is. People already getting plaudits who don't deserve plaudits. The only people who deserve plaudits are the people who work in the NHS trying to stop this, and like the key workers and stuff. That's it.
Sophie says the Spurs Amazon documentary is going to be a good watch.
It's going to be very good.
It's going to be... What have you made of that, like Mourinho apparently flouting the rules?
He's a tit. He's a tit.
Should he get... Do you think something should happen?
Yeah, I honestly I do. I think something should. That's what I'm saying, right? What he's done is he's gone out, and it's like, I don't know how many players there, it might have only been 2 or 3, but he's making it look like it's, and he'll say, oh, we're doing our 1 hour's exercise. No, you're not, because what you're doing is you're doing like a constructive session. So what does that say to people who are like, well, you know what, let's get our little group, our little running group together, or our little cycling group together? No, just keep obeying the basic rules. Till it's time to stop. You are role models in this situation. That's what I'm saying.
Definitely.
The minute people feel like, oh, it's all right, they'll start going out again, and that will kick it off again. Honest to God, I just think people are just thick and selfish.
Okay. Ryan Holtz asked, this is a proper live of 5 question. This is a belter.
Go for it.
Is a hot dog a sandwich? Why or why not?
It depends whether you class anything. I suppose it's whether you class anything with hot meat as a sandwich. I'm just saying, not just throwing that out there. Just throwing that out there. Just throwing that out there.
Throwing it in there.
Just throwing it in there, throwing it out there.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, the filling is exposed.
Okay. I mean, this has got a bit more technical than I was thinking.
So,
okay.
surely a sandwich is something between also 2 slices of bread, at least 2 slices of bread.
But theoretically,
A hot dog bun is one continuous bun that has been sliced. It is one bun.
so you're placing the meat inside that
But it's
slit.
not sandwiched.
Once the meat goes in the slit,
It's not sandwiched.
is that
It's not
either side of it?
No,
is, though?
no, that's just.
So is it not
that's
a
just,
sandwich?
That's just good placement.
Okay, so you're saying it's not.
I'm not. I'm just saying I don't believe that a hot dog is a sandwich.
Okay, that's it.
Because
Ryan?
I think it has to have 2 separate pieces of bread
to be a sandwich.
to be a sandwich.
Okay, listen,
They're the rules.
you've answered it.
They're the
Really,
rules.
You've answered
The
it.
ale set them out.
Connor Fitzpatrick says, the Earl of Salmons, yeah. Hi guys, do you think the season should be cancelled because it's a tight schedule for next season and the transfer windows and pre-season as well? I mean, what do you think?
Transfer window will be opened and left open probably till October, I imagine.
Yeah.
The lad
That's quite an easy one, really, isn't it?
Yeah, just tack it on.
Yeah. Pre-season?
Will they need as much of a pre-season if they come back and then have a little break? Don't forget there's going to be no tournaments.
Yeah.
They've had loads of rest now. They've had a month of rest now.
It's a month since Everton last played.
So they've had a month. So if they go back in another month, because we're not going to go back till, let's be honest, June, are we?
No.
So if they train every day, like that will be a pre-season for them. Play for a month, have another month off, and then maybe do some. Maybe allow them if they're allowed to go on holiday. But that's if they're allowed to go on holiday, and then get back at it.
Okay. Sound?
There mightn't be as many.
So do you think it should be cancelled or not? Do you think it needs to be played?
The season next season needs to be just played.
No, this season's 9 games.
I don't think. I just don't think there's. I think there's too much money riding on it.
So it will be played,
Yeah,
won't it?
you know, £1 billion.
Yeah.
£1 billion.
No way it's not getting played, is it? Spinal Taparoo says, the God of Water, says COVID-19 comes from Wuhan Biological Research Lab. It also contains traces of AIDS.
I mean, as long as it's just traces.
Shrikar Kandala says, who's the better striker, Duncan or Lukaku?
Lukaku.
Okay.
Easily.
Peter says, do you think we as fans underappreciate just how good Yakubu was for us? For me, I rate him as a better player for us than Lukaku was. Both natural finishes, but the yak was amazing, back to goal. Yakubu was a better player than Lukaku, easily. Could do his touch, control, power, great finisher. Ron was fantastic as well. I don't underappreciate Yakubu. No, I think he was amazing. And I think one of the worst injuries you can get as a footballer he got, still come back and scored some goals. Moyes got rid of him too soon. He went and scored 18 goals for Blackburn and was outstanding. So, you made a really good point when we done something last week about it. In nowadays, maybe with the money side, he'd have been kept.
Yeah.
But Moyes had to have that squad. He basically had to look and go, who can I afford to get out to bring something different in? Now he'd be kept the yak and be used because there wouldn't be that thing on him. But we certainly appreciate it.
Yeah, he's amazing.
J. Davis, 1878, says, what about a burger? Is that a sandwich or is it?
Well, I mean, technically it is a sandwich because it's meat between 2 pieces of bread.
Okay.
But
Meat between a bun.
But is it 2 pieces of bread because it's a bun, and the bun's cut in half?
It's been sliced.
So therefore, it technically isn't, is it? Because it's got to be 2 separate pieces of bread. But on the flip side of that, though, Baz, is that all those pieces of bread come from a loaf, which is one big thing. So essentially, a bun is just a small version of a loaf of bread.
Don't blow me mind at this time. Mucci97 says, hi lads, going through my 2nd chemotherapy treatment in 3 years from cancer. God bless the NHS and thank you for making these long days feel shorter. Hope you are on the mend soon,
Hope
Mucci.
you're good. Hope you Getting through
stay
it.
positive and come out the other side, mate. Matthew Lumsden wants to know when's the next Pez episode.
On
This for YouTube. This will
Patreon or YouTube?
be YouTube.
YouTube
I
be
think
tomorrow.
Patreon.
Patreon will be at the end this week sometime.
Okay.
I haven't edited it yet, I must admit.
Okay. Prince Rupert says spot on about people treating it like a bank holiday. Ped, I live in Norway and not England, but it's the exact same thing here. People acting like they're on holiday or something.
I like over the weekend. Between Friday and I left here on Thursday night, and the next time I left my house, apart from one half-an-hour walk literally round the streets by ours with the dog, was to come back here on Monday, and that was it.
I admit I've done my walk every day.
Well, that's fine. You're allowed
That's
to.
the only thing I've
You're
done.
allowed to, but
Yeah, you're right. Alex JG1124 says, what did you think of Sunderland Till I Die? Thought it was good. Thought it was really good. Good, insightful documentary, well put together.
I tell you what it does. I tell you when
Hang
I
on, pause. 34 likes. 150 watching. Not acceptable. Not acceptable. Get them likes up. 100 in the next 5 minutes, please.
What I was going to say is, what I really liked about it, and what I've liked about the Leeds one, two things from that and the Leeds one were the deadline day stuff.
Yeah, it's
and the stuff of that is so interesting. And so I would love to see, and I think this would be amazing, if like they put documentary cameras, crews, in every Premier League club, or say every Championship club. Maybe they'd accept it more. Imagine following them all around deadline day and seeing what happens. Because have you ever seen like America do brilliantly with the draft day?
Yeah.
The draft day is amazing, and they phone up the kid, and the kid's like, "You're gonna be a blah blah." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna." And then, but then there's a film with Kevin Costner called Draft Day, and it's actually really good little sporting film, and it follows them round for the day, and they have to be in this certain place, and there's certain rules, and they can only ring round certain people. It's very all protected. It's a really good film. It's worth watching.
Yeah.
And I remember when Howard's Way came out, and we were hoping Agent Heath was going to come over, and he didn't, and he was like, it's because the draft's coming up and I've got to be here and I've got to be ready to do this and all that. And I just think it'd be an amazing documentary just to follow, even if it was just like, imagine you were lucky enough to be at two teams who were doing a deal with each other, and you could see it. But imagine on that Sunderland, you were at Wigan, and you had the Wigan. Imagine the Wigan people like that. How much? But imagine that though, getting both ends of that conversation. I think that'd be fascinating, because there's stuff like that. I think
that's the interesting stuff. Remember on the City one, they're talking. Theirs isn't deadline day. They're talking about the transfer window coming up and what they want to do, and
but they do get someone on the deadline.
I know, but I'm saying they got the
Laporte,
yeah. And there's also the thingy as well, one on the Dortmund one, when they're talking about players when they were buying Schmidt, the left back. They were talking about him as well. Gareth Hughes says, some positive news about all of this coronavirus is that I get paid tomorrow and I've still got money in my bank account. Normally skint the day before payday, but spending more time at home playing games and watching family films. Also speak to my mum for at least half an hour every night, when before it was maybe a 5-minute chat twice a week. I will definitely continue to keep up some habits of not blowing money and valuing my relationships with my loved ones when this is all over. This, I think, is a really big thing. What Gareth said there. Too often, we all go into the just like a routine of life of like, oh, my mum and dad are there, they'll always be there, and they'll always be there, and I can talk to them. And I think something like this really makes you stop and think, what do I value? What really do I value in my life? And I've said to you, there's 5 of us in our, the 3 kids, and obviously my eldest 2 are in all the time now, and we've watched loads of stuff on Disney together, and watching stuff they watched when they were kids, like Sweet Life of Zack and Cody and things like that, and watching all that again, just doing stuff, eating around the table again every night, because we do have our tea around the table, but some nights Matthew's not in, or Amy's not in, or whatever, and that's been really nice. But it's hopefully people will get some habits from this and carry them on once things are relaxed. That's what I'd like to think. And I
Yeah.
mean that on a bigger scale as well. I mean that I'd like to think that, we get some stuff about being a bit more green and things like that. I don't know whether that'll ever happen, but it should, because the planet is
mean
recovering.
actually appreciating people
Appreciating everything.
who are very important to us all in our lives. And
Who's
yet,
important, important, what's important, and taking that through it. And things like people exercising, seeing people exercise now. And it's a massive, the thing with this is, to fight off this kind of stuff, you need a good immune system. To get a good immune system, you need to be a bit healthier.
Other countries have already got this cracked, is that in this country, our rules and laws allow big companies to come in, decimate workplace rules. So people have to work longer hours for less pay, and they get more and more so that there's going to be less hours, holidays and all that. And we're going to be like America soon if we don't sort ourselves out. Where if you go to like Australia, they have fantastic life balance. And that's what we need to get, because what they need to understand is if you're not working, without being political, right? Corbyn asked for pushing two things. One was free internet, right? Now look how important that would be now if we all had free internet, right? And the other one he said was a 4-day week. And people laughed at him. People laughed at him for a 4-day week. Oh, who's gonna get it? What are we gonna do? We're not gonna. And what he was saying was, if you can work the same amount of hours, but say like over four, or you have different shift patterns, so you're working less, but you're doing it over, and it works out like a 4-day week, but it wouldn't always be a 4-day week. What he was saying is more people would have more time off. People would feel healthier, they would exercise more, they'd go out more, they'd see the kids more, they'd talk to more people, they'd get a better general life balanced work thing going on. And what that does is promote healthiness. No, one of the biggest reasons why people are fat and unhealthy is because they don't get time to eat food properly, especially in work where dinner hours are getting eradicated. So they're shoveling food down, and that's not good for you. Shoveling food is not good. You're supposed to eat and chew and do it all properly. We've got rid of like green spaces, school fields, so kids can't play. And all that does is it eradicates exercise. The less you exercise, the more unhealthy you're going to be. The more unhealthy you be, the more you're going to be sick. The more you're sick, the more pressure on the NHS. The more money we have to put into the NHS. We're burning the candle at both ends. And something has to give. And what this could be the time where people start looking at it and appreciating everything. So appreciating the NHS, appreciating the support staff, all those people who we've been told are not skilled people, but the people who look after us. Might start getting appreciated, no matter where they come from, by the way, as well. And this whole little England thing that has got us into where we've been in the last couple of years needs to be completely gotten rid of, because actually everybody helps and everyone supports. But we've got to get this thing of like saying to people, no, one other thing I'd do, and this might sound mad, right? I'd go back and sort out the hours as well, the clocks. Right? Because in the winter, if we could get another hour of daylight, that would really be positive for us all. And that could happen easily. There's no reason why we have to put our clocks back and why it has to be 5 o'clock, why it's dark at 5 o'clock. There's no reason for that. It's an old-fashioned thing that doesn't need to be in, right? Little things like that would help. Imagine it was still light every night at 6 o'clock in the winter. That would promote more exercise, more people feel safe going out, maybe for that run or that cycle ride, cycling home. Imagine you finish work at 5 o'clock and it wasn't pitch black, and you were like, I'm going to cycle home from work, because actually by the time I get home, it'll be dark then, but I feel safe cycling home, I feel safe running home or whatever. All these things can be done. You need something to shake it out of it now and again. This could be the thing, so let's hope it is.
Okay, fair enough. Where am I? Keith Powell says, guess half the Spurs team and Jose Mourinho would be tasered after being caught in a park. As the Mirror says, the stupid one.
Yeah.
Michael Wood says, hello lads, I watched Howard's Way for the first time on Monday night. Great film. How rapid is your lad? Yeah, he is quite quick. Great film, but just makes you dream again. All the players should be made to watch it as a group before the first training session back. after lockdown, get them playing as a team of men, not a group of boys having fun or a laugh. You know what I'd be really, great points, Michael. You know what I'd be really interested to see?
Yeah.
Whether Everton have given it to Carlo Ancelotti to watch. But in lockdown, right? It's a fantastic thing. He will know that team because he was playing. So he'll know those players. I wonder if speak to Rob.
Pushed towards them.
Pushed them towards, just now's the time.
Official history and all that.
Yeah.
I'd have all that.
But I think it'd be good. I think it'd be good. Derek Hulton says, hi guys, hello Degs, hope you're well, mate. Daily briefing, Cobra meeting tomorrow to decide on length of time for next review. No way at present will we see an end to the lockdown. Good. Nearly 1,000 people have died in the UK in the last 24 hours. But the curve on new cases is flattening. Only on another note, do you think Everton have heard good things about new ground permission today as they've now started talking about the redevelopment of Goodison Park? I think Everton have been reading between the lines and a few other things. I think Everton have been given some positive noises regardless about Bramley Moore. However, they were always submitting this application in conjunction with the other things. So I don't think it's they've been given good news, so they've now through this one.
I think so. They already are well aware
of which way it's going to
go at local level. That doesn't mean that the government wouldn't call it in. We've said this, we've done a video on a few weeks ago, just as this was all kicking off. The prospect of a massive building or massive building construction happening September, October would be huge for this city in terms of, and it was already huge economically, but it would be even more now with so many people being off work. If you said to people around October time, September time, you've got 3 years work guaranteed, and all those little companies, someone got in touch with us last, I don't know if you've seen the message. Someone got in touch with us last night and said they'd been approached about a tenure for one of the parts of the ground. I won't say any more than that. I don't want to get anyone into trouble.
Yeah.
So Everton put it out to tenure now for certain parts. Obviously, we already know Lango Rourke's doing the main thing. But there's going to be all little subcontractors and stuff. If that's 3 years guaranteed work, and Everton have got the money, and it's all ready to go, then there is no reason to hold this back. There's literally no reason now where how anyone can turn around and go, yeah, but what about UNESCO? Just behave yourselves. Yeah. You know, you've got to look at the bigger picture and go, listen, financially we need this, and everyone's is agreed to it. And Everton have said we're ticking all the boxes when it comes to UNESCO, but that's nothing to do with us really. That's a bigger picture. So I think Everton think that they've done enough to get this over the line.
Yeah, I think you're right. Lee B says, a big A up from a blue living and teaching English in Chiang Mai, Thailand. Hope you're doing well, Lee. Keith Williams says, all right, boys, say hello to my Christopher. Tell him to eat his tea for his dad. Christopher, eat your tea, mate. Your dad's made it. Keith, give you a good tea. Just eat it. Nick F says, how are we, lads? He's okay. We are. We're doing well, thank you. Alan Lee says, all right, lads, doing a great job, keeping us sane. Who was better, Terry Curran or Duncan McKenzie? Duncan McKenzie. I didn't see Duncan McKenzie play, but I'm guessing he was better. Yeah. Terry Curran was good in his loan spell, and then he wasn't very good when he came. Steve says, one thumbs down from a bit of red. Well, of course, Steve, he loved this. Cameron says, afternoon, boys. Afternoon, Cameron. Hope you're well, mate. Nick F says, we should thank NHS key workers, cleaners, etc., people who are going out to work. We should, mate. And you know what? They're forgotten in all of this, because we always go to, and rightly so, the nurses and the doctors, but the people who are cleaning the gaff, keeping stuff at bay every day, having to go in, don't get any credit. Absolutely right.
Yeah. The people who are trying to kick out the country.
Where are we? why do Ginger Fish, why do people believe the players we're linked with when brands always gets us players who are never mentioned to join us?
Sometimes they are linked.
Bit of both, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mikey B says, spot on, Ped. I hope companies that have put staff under pressure to work and compromise people's health when they could close and take government's help and keep them safe.
Yeah.
Matthew Blundell says, amazing show, lads. Proper boss. Thank you, Matthew.
That's personal choice, by the way. If you don't want to go to Wetherspoons, don't go to Wetherspoons. You don't want to go to Next, don't go to Next. If you don't want to go to Sports Direct, if enough of us don't go to those places, they'll soon, bad things will soon happen to them.
Sukdev says, Baz, would you get Samari for CDM? Have you spoken to Andy about him? Yeah, Samari's fantastic, but Lille are very difficult to negotiate with at times.
Yeah.
And therefore I think he'd be too expensive, but he's a hell of a player. But I also like Zakaria. I think he's fantastic. Who else? Sangari, I love at Toulouse. I think he's another one who'd be really good for us. Weston McKennie, but he's a bit more of an creative type. But Samari will be a fantastic player. I think someone will definitely take him to the Premier League and he'll do brilliant for them. Chris Wilson, how awesome was Sean O'Hanlon's video with his kids recreating the greatest goals? Boss, hell of a strike, wasn't it, the Rooney one? Cam says he's all right. Good to hear, mate. Good to hear. Ryan Houle says, I'm visually impaired and will gain from the extra hour daylight. Yes. And on Patreon,
Mike Barrett says EU passed a vote to jib off the clock change. Don't know if we'll follow it or not. Apparently it kills people every year. It's a nonsense. There's no reason to change the clocks. No reason whatsoever.
I like that. It's a light at 11 o'clock at night in the summer.
No. The other way in the winter.
Going back, sorry.
No. We all want.
Yeah, but we get that because we gain what we lose there. We gain.
We don't. It's nonsense. It's an old-fashioned thing for farmers. It's an utter
no, Benjamin Franklin, wasn't it, to save on candles in the winter?
It is something that is not needed.
Which is one of our YouTube views.
It's not needed now. Get rid of it, and just let us have extra daylight at 6 o'clock on the winter where it's needed.
But it's good for kids coming home from school and everything, isn't it? Of course. The internet's just being a bit funny. Yeah. Gary Wall says the video's okay now.
Yeah, it froze for that. I think it froze for a second.
Owen Parks, hope you lads are doing well. Yes, we are. Stuart Thompson says, money or no money, how much money is worth to sacrifice one life? We need to cancel a season. If some clubs go to the wall, that's regrettable, but life comes first.
Yeah, but you've got to have the balance, haven't you? Like, you've got to have... I appreciate the comments, but you've got to have... just a small bit of balance in it, and football won't start before it needs to restart, clearly, otherwise we'd be playing now. It won't start with stadiums being full, and it won't start unless the plan is balanced out also with what needs to be done at the time. So it'll come back, those 9 games will be played, and that'll be that. And they'll say that no one will be at risk, essentially.
Adrian says, I live near Hove, talking about Brighton before. The local rag published deaths in Brighton has only been 13, and it caused local idiots, COVID-idiots, to ignore the advice. David Embleton says, if, and it's a big if, the season restarts in June, do you think they will play the league games first and then finish off the cup ties? Using Man City as an example, they have 10 league games with the possibility of 3 FA Cup ties and 6 Champions League matches. Well, first of all, the Champions League have said if it comes back, the one-off games, so there's no 2 legs, and they're going to be played in one place every 3 days. So I don't know how that works. The FA Cup, I don't know what they'll do with the FA Cup. They might just scrap it. I don't know.
I don't think it'll really be in the thinking at the moment, will it?
No, I think the big thinking's the Premier League, because they're putting pressure on them. Owen, we are doing well. Owen says Silva, Koeman and Allardyce, who did the best, worst job out of those three?
Don't know. Koeman had a good first season, let's not forget.
7th in his first season, yeah. Did Koeman do a better job than Silva?
Yeah, because we finished higher in the league.
Okay. Allardyce done it. Koeman will probably be the best out of those three. And you'd probably say Silva was the worst out of those three because Allardyce was here for a 6 months. And I don't like Sam Allardyce. It was great.
No, he did what he did.
He went, but he come in and he done a job and got us to 8th in the league and he went. And all right, Towson and Walcott say otherwise, but that's what he did. And Marco come in and had some good stuff in the first season, but the second season lost his way and then never knew how to get himself out of it. Never ever bought himself enough time by actually doing what he said he was going to do, which I think is you're onto a loser. The minute someone can go, you've said that formation's your favourite and yet you don't play it. The minute someone does that, you're basically out the door. Eric, what about Jonathan Oconee? Yeah, Jonathan Oconee, again at Lille, isn't he? He's another one, wide player, play anywhere across the front three, good player. He's someone Everton have been linked with, so last few minutes.
Yeah, go on, there's a couple more. I think Keith Powell says, it's okay showing appreciation, but governments have to invest far more in the health service or start an additional contributional tax, especially for health service. The lack of PPE is significantly upsetting, especially for the staff treating the infected. Even bus drivers are dying 9. They need perspex between them and the passengers, and they should use the middle door to get on the bus without contacting the driver, yet they insistently ignore the advice. It's so frustrating. Supermarket workers too, applause for them too. No, I agree. Keith, again, without getting political, but I can't help being political, what we're feeling at the moment is 10 years of not funding the NHS. My wife has worked for the NHS for believe it or not, over 30 years. Yeah, she's been working since she was 2 for the NHS. She's been working for over 30 years for the NHS. And I remember the end of Labour being in government, and no matter what anyone says or what anyone thinks, at that time the NHS was brilliantly run and was brilliantly funded. And the first thing the Conservative Party did when they come in is said they were going to get rid of all the red tape and all the middle tier managers, and they were going to start basically giving people 2 jobs. And all that did was, yes, it got rid of money, but then what happens is when you've got 2 jobs, you suddenly find yourself with 3 jobs. And if someone goes off sick because they can't cope with the 2 jobs you've given them, someone suddenly finds that they've got 4 jobs, and then your wages don't go up every year. You're not even getting a cost of living wage rise. And all that happens is,
but your tasks go up.
Tasks go up, money goes down, mental health problems go up, morale goes down, and that's just in the staff. Equipment, everything else gets worse and worse. Look at Liverpool. They started building our new hospital in 2013. It's still not ready. And it won't be ready for another 2 years because they allowed a private building firm to make it, and that private building firm went bust, Carillion. The simple fact is, we have tried to privatise our National Health Service over the last 10 years, and this is where we are now. Staff going in because it's their duty to go in and they would not refuse it, having to deal with situations where they could get sick and die, their family could get sick and die without the right equipment to do it. The people who come out of this, sadly, and get pats on the back are the people who aren't actually doing anything and haven't been doing anything for 10 years, and actually they don't want the National Health Service. So how about we just go back and fund it properly? Make sure it has more than enough money, not enough money, more than enough money. And then let's put money into social care. Let's put money into getting kids exercising. Let's get youth clubs back open. Let's get green spaces so they can all play on. Let's do all that. and pat everyone on the back and not stop people coming into the country who want to look after our old, who want to look after our sick. Stop calling people who do good jobs in whatever field they do low skilled, low maintenance, whatever. I was a low skilled person when I worked on the cabs, but I tell you what, try and get home at 4 o'clock in the morning with a person who isn't low skilled, and what you'll find is you're stuck in town at 4 o'clock in the morning. That's what you'll find. Get the fellas who clean the streets of Liverpool at 4 o'clock in the morning after there's been a night out. They're low skilled. Get the people like Baz said before to clean the hospitals that are covered in germs. They're low skilled. Hey, they might be low skilled, but they're high risk. So that's all people need to start appreciating everybody. That fella who comes and hands you your mail, or doesn't actually hand you your mail, but who puts the mail through your door at the moment, that fella who brings your food because you're not going to the supermarket, he's low skilled, isn't he, or she's low skilled? Well, they're not. Stop calling people low skilled. We're all part of this like massive net where some people do jobs like doctors that are amazing, but then there's people who do other jobs that if they didn't do them, you wouldn't get your milk or your bread, or you wouldn't get picked up to go on a night out, where you let your hair down, where you ease your stress and your mental health by going round to your mates and having a drink, or going into town, or going to bingo, or going to a footy match, who pick you up after the game and take you home so you don't have to worry about walking home or getting, driving or whatever it is. Those people need to be appreciated now, like everybody else. We've all got our place in society, so let's start appreciating everybody else.
Well said. Well said.
There you go.
You done?
I'm going to check
Party political.
That's not a party political. That's for everybody. That's for every single person.
Tom Bolton says was Lee Ty garbage. No,
he
he
wasn't.
was all right actually.
No,
Lee Ty, he was all right. Sukdev was. Baz was a Wobie, a brainless signing. No, he wasn't a brainless signing.
He's okay.
And
he's okay.
He isn't a below average player. Go and look at his numbers.
He's okay. Leave him alone. He's got good moves.
Like Jagger, yeah.
Steve Kelly says most forgettable sale of a player.
No, we're doing a video on
okay,
that.
we're going to. I thought we might be.
There you go.
You done?
Yeah, but there's lots there.
Keith Powell says...
Oh, hang on. I want to read this one very finally.
Okay.
Glenn Watson says, great to see the live show. Question. What have you learned about yourself that you didn't know before the COVID lockdown? You know what I've learned? That, well, two things. First of all, not enough people like this video. 250 watching, 108 likes. That's grim. If that doesn't get to 150, that's embarrassing. But the real thing, what I've learned about myself is that I'm actually all right with not socialising with loads of people.
See, you're anti-socialising.
I love my family and I love but it's not like a bad thing for me. Some people...
We've had this conversation. Yeah. I'm all right with the way things... don't get me wrong, I don't want to move to North Korea, but the pace of life has slightly changed and I've been all right with that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all.
That's what I've learned from it. Yeah.
There's been a slightly different pace of life and I'm all right with it. It hasn't... I'm dead lucky. It hasn't affected me. I'm sitting here every day doing the thing I absolutely love doing. And even though there's no footy, the footy's the thing that stresses me out. I've been all right, and it's got me creative juices flowing, and it's got us to start thinking outside the box, and we're trying to do different things, and I'm trying to create different ways of doing those things, and they've not all been successful, and that annoys me when things I think of don't work properly, but then I have to think of another way to make it work, or go halfway. I mean, you should never go halfway, you should always try and go fully in. It helps, you get a better experience for everyone, I feel.
Always.
So, but sometimes what you got to do is go a little bit in, see if something works, and then go in a little bit more, and do it in stages.
You end up with the best thing then, don't you? Peter says, do you think we should be playing 4-4-2 medieval formation for me dinosaur days? 100% we should be playing 4-4-2. 4-3-3 is bollocks. 4-5-1 is crap, in my opinion. It's absolutely awful. Because 4-3-3, unless you're Man City or Liverpool with three unbelievable frontmen, it's a rubbish formation because it doesn't work. Everton have tried to play that system. since 2003, 4, and we've won nothing. So
It is what it is.
That's my opinion.
Keith Powell says a greep head, and if you're doing 2, 3 or 4 jobs, you're not doing one job properly. Thanks to your missus, Sam. Appreciate their care and attention, 100% agree with social care too. Totally neglected the last 10 years. Sorry, I get passionate too. You're right, Keith, it has been massively neglected.
Yeah.
What happens to people when they've been in hospital? What happens to them afterwards when they've got to try and get back on their feet and there's no, and then suddenly you got a fella knocking on the door saying, no, you're fit to work. You're fit to go back to work, when they're not, pricks. Mike Barrett says that was a team human broadcast from PM Ped. It was a team human.
David Sullivan says, sorry, Basil, I've liked it now. Trying to watch this and cook me tea at the same time.
I mean, he's got a
You're
good...
learning multitasking.
Yeah.
That's a massive thing to be learning. So
I think Simon Barrett should have the last word unless there's any more.
go on, I'm not going to...
No, last word, Simon Rouse. Bugger, I fell asleep and missed the show. There you go. Don't forget to like it, though.
I mean, with that entertaining, he's gone to sleep. Fair play to him.
Yeah.
There you go. Right, listen, thank you very much. Thanks for joining us. Stay safe, be sensible, wash your hands, and we'll get through this. Thanks very much. See you later.
Well, I mean, I'm just going to finish off with this. If you're watching on YouTube, which a lot of you are, and you want live shows every day just like this, come over and join us on Patreon. For the price of a pint that you're not allowed to drink at the moment. I mean, what a better time. You're stuck at home. You want quality content. We're on every single day. We're live 4 days a week. Come and join us. Come and join us on Patreon. It's boss. If you don't, join us on YouTube. See you later.